Right, okay, so welcome to the first episode of Epilepsy and Me. With me today is Abby.
Hello.
Hello there. We're just going to get cracking straight away with this. Just obviously a bit of housekeeping. If you could subscribe to the page, if you could share any of the videos that we do, that would be much appreciated. So let's get going. So Abby, tell us about your epilepsy.
Okay, so I have idiopathic epilepsy. I've had it for about a year, just over now. I've only ever had 2 known seizures at the moment, luckily. And idiopathic epilepsy is kind of your typical type of epilepsy
Yeah.
with like jerking and like what you would normally see.
Tonic-clonic kind of.
Yes. Yeah. So it's pretty much that. I lose consciousness. I don't remember a thing about it at all. Usually when I wake up, I'm absolutely terrified because I don't know who anyone is at all, not even my parents.
It's horrible,
I don't know any.
absolutely horrible.
It was awful, absolutely terrifying. And I always bite my tongue, which is the most painful thing.
Did you ever have the mouthwash
No.
It's horrible. It just numbs you for about 2 hours, and then the pain afterwards is.
Oh gosh, no! I've had to suffer with the pain. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, my type of epilepsy is more common in children, which usually by the age of 20 they're starting to come out of the seizures, not having as many or completely over it. So it's quite rare to have it beyond 20, and I'm 21 at the minute, and I got it at 20.
Yeah.
So
well, if it wasn't for you telling me about that name of that epilepsy, I wouldn't have had a clue what it was to then realize that's exactly what I had. So yeah, mine was 23, so I was even later than you. But yeah, I know what you mean in terms of pulling back around. It's not nice, is it? How long do yours normally take to come round? Is it?
I usually have seizures lasting from about 5 to 10 minutes, and it can take me anywhere from 10 to half an hour, 10 minutes to half an hour to fully understand what's happened and get used to my surroundings. But until then, it's just complete fear.
Yeah, bless you. Yeah, I know. I've woke up to a few ambulance drivers and stuff like that.
It's exactly the same.
Yeah, it's on the oxygen mask and it's not nice. So when was your like last one that you had?
My last seizure was, I do have it written down, August 15th, so I'm nearly a year.
Oh wow, brilliant.
And that was purely because I was prescribed lamotrigine originally with my first seizure before I was diagnosed.
All right.
But being the typical person who's like, oh, I don't have epilepsy, I don't need to take the medication, it's a one-off. I decided not to take the medication, so from May to the August I was not on medication. So that's why I had the second seizure. So I have since then taken the medication, and I haven't had one since, thankfully.
That's good. That's brilliant.
But,
So in terms of, have you had any side effects from the medication? Because I know mine.
Originally, at first, I had really bad stuff going on. Like I was super dizzy, and I still to this day struggle really bad with memory.
Right. Do you reckon that's from the seizure itself, or is that from medication?
It can be a bit of both, because my neurologist said that the medication can cause you to forget things, and also seizures obviously can help make you forget as well. So it's a bit of both. I do really struggle with forgetting things.
I've had I think I got my memory loss kind of happened like more after the seizures kind of stopped. I think. So I was like, is that age or is that? But I think it was more the seizure hit my head and stuff. So.
Probably.
But yeah, I was on lamotrigine and then changed to levetiracetam. Levetiracetam worked a lot better for me. I think it was obviously different. But, but yeah. So in terms of obviously your fairly new to it. I'm guessing that's why you joined the epilepsy group and stuff.
Yes, because I had no clue. I completely felt alone, and I was so in denial of what had happened. I was like, didn't want to say anything about it, just kind of wanted to forget about it. But you obviously need to know what it's about and learn about it, which the group really has helped.
Yeah, it is a really good group. Like I was saying to you the other day, was the amount of different epilepsy and stuff that you just don't you don't even like click on. You just think it. I don't know if you're the same as me, but before you got diagnosed, did you just assume it was flashing lights, seizure? That was you're born with it. Yeah.
Exactly like that. And I also didn't realize how much it affects your life. Like, obviously I lost my license. I was told I wasn't allowed to have a bath, wasn't allowed to go at heights.
I remember that.
I wasn't allowed to do like anything, and all of a sudden I went from having complete freedom at university, being able to drive wherever I want, living alone, to being completely like cut off from everything. Like, can't do this, you can't do that, you can't drink alcohol, you can't do this. It was
and yours was, I'm assuming yours was just at the start of COVID as well then.
Yes, literally like a few weeks into lockdown.
Christ bless you. Yeah, like the double whammy of just everything kind of hitting you at once.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, I remember. Did they do like the heart tests and stuff on you as well? Make sure.
Yeah, I had my I had an EEG, and I also had an MRI. And then I obviously, when the ambulance come, they do all these other tests and everything. But yeah, I've had a lot of tests during COVID.
Yeah, bless you. I was gonna say you are quite lucky, I think, from my experience of it, to have a neurologist that quick as well.
Yeah.
I think mine was must have been about 6-7 months into, like, after my first seizure, when like they realised it wasn't anything to do with my heart and it was epilepsy.
Yeah, because I had first seizure in May, and by August I was diagnosed.
Christ, okay.
So it was really, really.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think it took me, I think it was about my third seizure when they were just like, yeah, this is epilepsy. It's not anything else. So have they said like what likely caused it, or is it just?
Well, I later found out that it runs in my mum's side of the family, but none of them have been diagnosed. But a lot of them are lorry drivers and have had to step back from that because they've had seizures. But none of them have been officially diagnosed with epilepsy. So we're guessing that's where it's come from, but I haven't had anything up until now to say that it's like from birth or anything.
Yeah. I was gonna say, did you ever have like migraines or anything like that, or?
I do suffer from migraines, but that's also because I have an astigmatism, so that's common with like eye stuff. So I've never really thought much of it. But...
Because it's one of those things where obviously doing this was, I want to kind of get other people's things on it to kind of probably clear my own mind a little bit. Because I had like really bad migraines from about 15 to about 18, and then nothing until my epilepsy and stuff. So like, I was kind of intrigued because we have the same sort of epilepsy, if you like that as well. So
finding like common ground.
100%. Because as you said earlier, there you felt quite alone, like when you I think that is quite a common thing. I think because as much as it's quite a common thing to have, it's really hard to find someone else who has it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you don't ever hear, because I feel like people probably have it but don't really talk about it, because it's kind of, I guess it's a bit embarrassing, because you feel like if you say it, people will be like a bit worried about you, when like not, because like my family, all of that, every time there's a bang, they're straight away, are you okay, shouting me, and I'm like, I literally dropped my whole, I'm fine.
But I know what you mean on that, totally. It's that weird thing, isn't it? It's really lovely that they care, but you also are a bit, I want my freedom, I want my...
Yes, 100%.
But it's nice that they care and they're there for you and stuff. But in terms of obviously kind of linking on to that a little bit, for me, I know my confidence took quite a big bash when I first got it. How did that kind of affect you personally?
I think because I was in denial, completely just not in my mind. I was like, I don't have it. They're wrong. It's not a thing. But I think once I officially got diagnosed, I kind of went in on myself a little bit.
Right.
I was like,
Okay.
I didn't, especially because of COVID, I didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
So I was just stuck at home, doing nothing, thinking about it. So
Yeah.
it definitely knocks you back a bit, and you're like, well,
Yeah.
I've been told I can't do that, so I can't go to this place with these people, and I can't do this, and I can't.
You're all of a sudden on the vulnerable list as well now. So
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, it was good because I got my jab faster than everyone else.
yeah.
Other than that, yeah, I was very like conscious of it and conscious of what other people thought of it.
I was gonna say as well, especially being very new to it as well, and like I said, being in denial of it. Yeah, I get where you're kind of coming from on that. I think I was a bit the same, to be fair. I don't know, like, obviously you're very, very new to it and stuff, so I don't know how you'll kind of answer this, but in terms of like relationships and stuff like that, for me, after going to any sort of new relationship I have, or any new job or anything like that, I feel I have to mention it.
Yeah.
And that's, you start that story over and over and over and over.
Yeah, that's the same with my work. As soon as I had it, obviously, because I was meant to work the next day, both times I'd had it. So I had to inform my workplace. And then when I went back to my workplace, all the questions were about it. And like, are you allowed to do this? Are you allowed to do that? Do we need someone to check on you all the time? And I had to them like, if we haven't seen you for a while, please come and see someone to make sure you're okay. And I'm like, I am okay. I'm on medication and I'm fine. But it is hard having to go over it and over it and being like, this is what it is. This is, you don't have to worry about me though. But this is it. But,
I always feel like any new job, like, because obviously I've worked like assessments and stuff like that, and I've had quite a few jobs since I've been diagnosed. So having to kind of, right, I've got epilepsy. I haven't had a seizure in 5 years, but it's still,
it's possible.
And they assume you're gonna have one tomorrow. Not to kind of scare you on that kind of thing, but that will kind of be the kind of thing going forward, that you will, even when you've been a long time without it, people will still assume like, you're epilepsy for life kind of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not trying to scare you on that, but it's just.
Oh no, I'm used to it. I've had a lot of that already, so.
It's just learning to live with it. I give you kind of a lot of praise as well, is that you went and searched out for the group as well really quickly, because I didn't join that group till this year. Like.
Oh really?
Yeah, like I never really wanted support on it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. I understand that. I think my parents were the ones that pushed me to it a bit. They were like, find other people that have it as well. And then I was like, brushed it off at first, but then I was like, actually, it might be helpful. And it really has been. I've learned so much. I had no clue that it was like about tonic-clonics and all the other things. I didn't even know. All I knew, it was called idiopathic. I didn't know anything else about it, so I've learned a lot from that page completely.
Yeah, like I think it's absolutely brilliant. To be fair. I was gonna say, is that when you said your parents kind of pushed you, was that because they know if you were getting a bit insular about stuff?
Yeah, because I was so in denial and I would just brush it off. I think they just wanted me to be more aware of everything and get used to it.
I was gonna say, I imagine they probably did like the research on it all and checked everything out.
Yeah, I think they didn't, because I think they were scared of what they would find.
Okay.
Especially when my dad came with me to my first neurology appointment, and there were all these things like you could die and all this, and I was like, oh, okay.
And I think it's a lot once,
Yeah, and it scared both of us, and I think we also made a pact where like, don't tell my mum about this because she'll freak out about this and this. So it was quite like hiding it from everybody, things that are bad, and trying to like take that out of your mind. But
I get that. I don't think that goes away. Like, I think you learn to live with it, but it's one of those things that it's always going to be in the back of your mind, like regardless. But obviously, like I say, if you've had your medication sorted now, and that's really, 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 really good that you've had it sorted that quickly as well. Like,
because I was originally on a lower dose and it was fine, but because I'm wanting to get to driving fast and like get back to life, my doctor has like doubled it to double check that nothing will happen. So that is positive.
I was gonna say, I think that's one of the things that I think everyone who I'm going to do on these is going to say. I don't assume so. It's
NHS in terms of dealing with it. Fantastic.
Oh yeah, they've been so good,
Yeah.
so good.
Like I say,
Very
especially get seeing your neurologist so quickly during COVID as well. Like that, that's immense.
That shocked me a lot. And then also you got I don't know if you would have an epilepsy nurse that you get handed out. Yeah, they're helpful too, because I actually rang her and said, I don't know anything, please tell me everything. So that was helpful.
I kind of viewed it as like, in a bit of a way of, with that was like a Macmillan nurse, if you know what I mean. You know, people that cancer that don't really know what to expect, they just know what they know, sort of thing. And it's that same sort of thing. It's they're just really good to kind of have
find out.
Because they do literally know everything. But,
yeah, definitely.
So in terms of kind of going forward on it, how confident are you in terms of?
I feel like it's completely under control. I think less about it.
That's good.
Like, since everything's opened up, I've been going out and having alcohol, which originally I was told not to do, but I've learned that in moderation, totally fine.
How do you find that? How do you find that hangover? Because it took me a while to get used to.
I'm slowly going into it. I haven't drunk to the excess of that, purely because, number one, I don't really get hangovers, luckily. So, but I have also been cautious and slowly building it because I don't want to go back and have to wait a year to get my license back. So hopefully I'll be getting that back soon as well.
Try and avoid the hangovers. They take a lot longer. But yeah, I remember that first month. I wasn't out drinking the first month. I think I did it the other way. I'm just like, I'm allowed to. I don't really drink now because I call them epilepsy days, which is just where you're a bit just groggy. It's really, really groggy. Even just a few, I feel a bit like that. So.
I totally get that. Yeah.
Obviously medication as well.
Yes.
So in terms of obviously driving and stuff like that, is your doctor kind of try to support you with the best they can?
Yeah, that's why he put me on high medication, because he knew I wanted to drive it as soon as possible. And I've had 3 different appointments about getting back to driving. And I've just sent off for my D1, so hopefully that'll get here soon. But I've never noticed how long it takes, because it's like gone past 4 weeks until I can drive again, technically. But I didn't realise how long, and also that you'd have to get your D1 delivered to your house. You can't do it online.
I'm still waiting. I'm waiting for mine to come back, and that was about a year ago.
Oh my. So I've only just sent out for the papers, and I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm not going to get it back in time. I'm not going to even be able to send it in time. So that's one thing I'm very shocked about. And then people are saying they've waited 6 months and a year and stuff, and I'm like, I can't wait long.
But actually, no, it'll be about 8 months ago. I think I sent mine back. Because I had to wait longer to get my license back than you did, because I had like 2 years of seizures as well. So. So I think it was like after a year, and then it's 3 years. Have they said you need to like every 3 years, or is it just going to be fine in terms of your license?
What?
In terms of your license, have they said it's going to be like every 3 years you need to get it redone, or they just?
I've no clue.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't know. I
think it's different people's for different. I've
had to wait a year, and then I've just been told to reapply, and that's all I know at the moment. But I do need to rectify some stuff with my doctor, because they've got dates wrong for when I had my last seizure, and it's like I don't want to wait another 2 months, because it's 2 months out. So I'm trying to sort that out as well. It just is a long process.
It's worth it in the long run, but at least possibly having an extra 2 months is how you know even more that you're good. You know what I mean? So
that is real.
But no, I get you on that. Like that. I think DVLA are on strike at the minute as well, so
yeah, that doesn't help.
Yeah, but no, I'm glad to hear you're doing well, and like I say, you a lot quicker than a lot of other people, I think, to reach out and look for help as well. Like I think before that group, I think I knew about 3 other people who had epilepsy and stuff. So for you to kind of knowing you're kind of a bit alone on that and going and joining that group was quite proud of that. That's quite cool, man.
Yeah, because I literally knew no one or nothing about it, so I was like, I do need to find something and someone.
Yeah,
yeah.
Like I said earlier, is you automatically have that perception, don't you, of what epilepsy would be, and you kind of think, like, shit, my life's going to be that. Once you've kind of had your confirmation of it, you're like, shit, am I going to have a seizure every 2 months? Am I going to not be able to do anything again?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I get that. So yeah, but no, like I say, if you're doing well, so that's good. I've got a few other people who are kind of lined up, and I know quite a lot of them still do have seizures and stuff, so it's going to be quite a different conversation with them, I think. But,
yeah.
Possibly not as positive an outlook, but
no, I am quite lucky that I've not got it as severe as a lot of people.
Yeah, I think again on that group, that kind of as not as nice as it sounds, it does make you feel a bit better about yourself at times.
Oh, 100%. Reading some of them, I'm like, oh, thank God that I am where I am, and I feel they're very strong people, because I don't think I could do what some of them are doing at all.
And they're very open about it as well, which I really really like. Your sense being about looks at it is that weren't very open about it stuff, and it's quite in denial about it. I think I when I'm kind of thinking about it, I probably was myself a little bit. I assumed it was my heart. That's what I assumed was the issue with my heart straight away.
Oh yeah.
Because that's how I monitors and stuff. So yeah, but yeah, it's been nice to talk to you anyway.
And you?
Yeah, so yeah, I'll probably try and get us up some point in the week. I've got Chloe on Wednesday, so I'll be putting that one out just after as well. So but yeah, it's been absolutely lovely. Keep going well. If you need us for anything, give us a shout.
I will. Thank you very much.
No worries. Okay, right. I'll stop.